guess that's the wrong intro. Oops. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching from. Wait, is it working? Yes. My name is ThatSpaceDogeGuy, and welcome to the live coverage of Long March 6, potentially the last one. Today we are here with our co-commentator for today, FaZe.
Hello again.
Welcome back to the stream, FaZe. It's nice to have you here again. Please give me a second while I get some things sorted out here, because you might hear already it's a different setting today. I'm not home, so it's pretty different setup today, but it's the same over in Taiyuan here as possibly the final launch of the Long March 6, right, Faisy?
Quite possibly.
Because I don't know, some people speculated it could have been the last flight, but I've also heard, like we talked about earlier, that they already said that the last launch of the Long March 6, which was last year, was the last one.
To clarify the rumors on that, it was expected shortly after that launch that there were going to be no more, and then all the commemorative items for that were rescinded.
Okay.
Because apparently they just had another Long March 6 lying around.
Oh.
And now, here we are 1 year, 3 weeks later.
Yeah. With another Long March 6 launch here. Now, do we have any speculation of payloads? Because you said it could be anything at this point.
It could be anything. We could have another Tianping space monitoring satellite. We could have a group of Geely or Tiantong connectivity satellites.
So we don't even have hints from the NOTAMs hinting on payloads.
Well, it's going to be
like trajectory, angle trajectory.
A sufficiently inclined low Earth orbit. We're heading out towards the LOC, not directly south today.
Okay. Southeast, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, sounds good. We at the moment 16 minutes and 30 seconds until the expected launch of Long March 6 from the Taiyuan side launch center in China. So, yeah. Pretty much waiting now. Now, FaZe, can you explain us about the Long March 6, like the rocket specifics?
Well, it's a bit of a weird one with all its diameter changes, but
yeah.
It was, in 2015, the first Long March vehicle to use the new YF-100 kerosene engine. Specifically, it has a YF-100 GBI, which just diverts some of its gaseous byproduct into little vents for attitude control and roll control. And that's just the first stage. And on the second stage, it has a singular YF-115, which is another kerosene and liquid oxygen engine. And then it has a tiny third stage, which is, imagine a very beefed up Curie. Is that what Rocket Lab still calls their third stage?
Kick stage.
Yeah, but a very beefed up version of that.
Okay. Interesting. So, we have here in the chat, Dark CDR. Hey, thanks for the translation. Well, no problem. We appreciate you being here on the stream today. Even with this harsh condition here, because being in the middle of Norway is not for the weak. Anyway, Now, about the Long March 6 variants, because we have Long March 6, we have a Long March 6A, a Long March, and a Long March 6C. Now, what are the key differences between all of these rockets?
In a way, the Long March 6A is an evolution of the 6. It's doubled the YF-100 engine to 2, and it now can use the much more normal and can gimbal variant of those engines. And then it's widened the second stage, but it hasn't increased the engine count, and that stage can now go all the way to orbit. And on the 6A in particular, it has 4 solid rocket boosters. The 6C has no boosters.
Yeah, okay.
Ever so slightly narrowed the second stage.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, those are the Long March 6 differences here. Now, personally, from the webcam experience, the key differences between a Long March 6 and a Long March 6A. Hold on, I'm getting. Now, the differences between the Long March 6, a Long March 6A, and a Long March 6C are for sure visible on the camera, on the webcam here. Because I think Phasey, Long March 6A is bright, isn't it?
Ridiculously.
Yes, it is completely visible from the camera. Like, it's so bright. It's visible from far away. Now, with the Long March 6, on the other hand, because it has a single engine, and I believe it's a kerosene engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's much less bright than a Long March 6A, and that you will see that in about 12 minutes time. The ridiculous difference between that. Now, I haven't seen a Long March 6C on the webcam yet, so I cannot tell the difference from that.
Well, we've only had one 6C, and that was in 2024.
Do you think that will ever launch again?
And maybe they're booked.
They're booked. Oh my god. That's interesting. Well, let's get a render of this, how the Long March 6 looks like for the viewers. So hold on. It's gonna take a little bit because I need to. There we go. The Long March 6 rocket here, a 3-stage rocket. Now, personally, it looks so much like a 2-stage rocket, but that's maybe because the 3rd stage is ridiculously buffed up. So, like you said. So, the 3-stage rocket. Oh, God.
Yeah, the third stage is tiny. It's that white band between the fairing and the uppermost blue band.
Yeah. What are those blue bands, actually? Are those for. What are they used for?
Tracking and aesthetics.
Because we've seen that is not on the Long March 3B anymore, as we've seen for the last flight in January.
Yeah, Long March 6 has to be very careful about its mass usage. So,
yeah, I would guess because it's much smaller. Would say than a 6A.
It also has a lot less power to work with because it has less batteries on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen Liftoff, and if we have a clip, it crawls off of the pad.
Oh, I think we do have a clip.
It's not going anywhere fast.
I think I had a clip from a previous launch. Daylight launch is also okay, I think. Hold on, let me just get that for you. It's taking a little bit long because I cannot find footage. Well, we'll get to that clip later. I'll show in the next few minutes. But indeed, it crawls off the pad, like you say. Give me just a second here. We'll get the clip shortly here of the 6. from a day launch, I would like the best, because then you can see.
Yeah, just to give everyone some numbers, the rocket weighs about 103 tons fully fueled. The YF-100 engine will produce about 120 tons of thrust. So you don't have that good of a TWR initially.
Okay, I found a video. Oh no. It's a bit loud. So, here's a clip of one of the Long March 6 launches. You can see it's not a fast rocket for a small thing.
That's sped up. Look at the cloud.
It doesn't have a lot of thrust either, right? Like
Yeah.
compared to other 6.
17 tons.
17 tons. Oh well. Yeah. That shows a difference, because for example, if the first stage of the Long March 6 was uh a solid rocket, how fast would it go? Like, how fast do you expect it to go?
I forget how fast, but I believe the Long March 6A is well into a thruster ratio of 2 within a minute.
Whoa. So here we see another clip of the 6 launch. That's mission control. That's a pretty old clip, I would say. So this basically shows you how a Long March 6 flight goes.
If memory serves me correct, I think this is 2019.
I will check in a second to see if you're right. Yeah, that's basically that. Yeah, indeed, you're correct. November 13th, 2019, from the Taiyuan Side Launch Center, carrying 5 Ninja 1 remote sensing satellites. That's a very interesting name, like many satellites from China. Now, if we go towards the constellation side of things, because you said an option for payload Geely. Uh-oh, there goes my mic. Geely constellation things. What is Geely exactly? Like, what do we know of the Geely constellation group?
Primarily, Geely satellites, of which there are 40-ish. I don't have the specific number on me at the moment. They will primarily be used for automated vehicles and connecting robots
Hmm.
in very remote regions.
So it's more of like technology side of things. If you take a
They
look at
don't have
robots and
they
stuff.
don't have enough satellites yet to provide internet.
Hmm. But can they provide internet if there were more launches?
Eventually, I believe, I think it might be China Mobile has an agreement with them to provide direct-to-device services when
Ah,
able to. Obviously, at
that's
the moment,
cool.
there's an emergency only, but
Yeah. But if we take a look at things like Space Sail or Gowon and stuff like that, what are the differences between Geely constellation, Space Sail, and Gowon? Like all these kinds of constellations.
I mean, for a similarity to Guowang, they won't launch more than 10 satellites at a time. Bar the one launch that had 11 because they put a Block 2 satellite on the cake topper. I mean, they also have electric propulsion and solar panels, of course, but
Yeah.
they're just built by a different person and operated
It's just,
commercially. Yeah.
it's basically like competing.
Yeah, there is at least, I think, maybe 5 stretch connectivity providers.
5.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Yeah. I'm just thinking, if you take a look, like, because about Gowon, it's a space internet constellation as well. I think we talked about this in terms of the webcam side of things. If the house we rely on here is completely, everything shuts down, you say space sail is an option for continuous streaming coverage, like internet coverage. If we talk like in general about internet groups, would space sail be the first to actually provide that to the public?
Maybe. They have plans to roll out by November, assuming they have the satellites to do so.
Already?
Yeah.
Well, we only
It's
saw.
going to be China, Brazil.
Well, we only saw one launch of Space Sail in 2026. That was April 7th, 2026, for Group 7 that launched on board a Long March 8 from Launch Site 1 at the Wenchang site, Space Launch Site. So, yeah. I have not seen a lot of Space Sail launches if we compare to others. Well, no, there haven't been a lot of Geely either. I think is Gowon the constellation that launches the most?
Yes.
Is that by far? Because I think the amount of Gowon launches we have seen is pretty insane.
Yeah, we're up to 21 Golang launches.
21. I mean,
But those
that's
will
just
deploy
crazy.
between 5 and 10 satellites each time, so they're not building very fast, but just by having a lot of rocket.
I mean, do you think they're going to use bigger rockets to like get more satellites up?
That is the plan.
Well, that is a plan. We will see how Satnet grows and how the internet constellation grows. If we take a look at how constellations are doing right now, who do you think is just, let's say, who's gonna win in like the most launches, just to say, like the most satellites?
In terms of launches, Golang. In terms of satellite, Space Sail.
Because Space Sail launches more satellites.
Space Sail has its deployments much more uniform. And when their satellites work, they can throw up a lot of time.
Okay. Well, that's pretty interesting here. All right, now let's go back to the Long March 6 launch here, because we're under a minute away until we expect to see it go up here. So I'm sure it's a great evening right now in China for the people. And I believe Mission Control as well, as we're getting closer now to the launch of Long March 6. So, you're pretty calm here, I should say. All right, we should be around 20 seconds away now. Phasey, quickly, can we get things on time when the launch window opened and closed, if you have that?
So the launch window opened 8 minutes ago, and it's going to run for the next 21 minutes.
Okay. Pretty open window, I will say. Well, we should see Long March 6 go here shortly. So give it a few seconds.
And then maybe some more, because it has to clear some mountains.
Yeah. Well, depends. Oh. Oh. It's a glitchy cam, but there it is. Long March 6 now in the skies for potentially its final launch. So now we don't really have sound, which is quite sad. So Faisy, we now see the rocket flying. In what stage of flight are we going to be in the next few minutes?
This is first stage flight. This is quite comfortably first stage flight.
Yes, we know it's first stage flight, but I meant like through the next few minutes of flight.
About, I want to say minute 10 we'll be staging. And then it's the second stage flight. Second stage flight will last about 5.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the third stage will be released to fire up to bring it to an initial parking orbit and then the target orbit afterwards. That went quite fast.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, that was pretty fast.
Slower than a 6A, but quite fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Could this have been a 6C?
I don't expect it to be the 6C.
We've had
That would
one.
be
We've had one. Those notices are going to be very difficult to discern initially.
that would be crazy if we just realized it was a 6C. That would have been crazy. I'm telling you. Well, that is Long March 6, or who knows what it was. We expect it to be a Long March 6, of course. Yeah, that was beautiful. Beautiful launch there. Like you said, it was pretty fast though. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. Wow. Yeah. I don't really have words to describe that. So about 3 minutes or 2.5 into flight now. Should we be in second stage flight now?
This is comfortably second stage flight.
Okay. Computer, the launch already happened. I'm not going to pull up replays. You can scroll back to view the launch. No problems, Armand. Let's see who's as well on the stream. Chinese space program is growing fast. It is growing pretty fast, to be honest. Like the last few years, big improvement. We have Kenda on the stream, Chen Ratch, Voy Tamara, if I'm saying that right, and Dungan. Well, that was Long March 6. If you missed it, you can scroll back and watch again. Now, of course, this is a webcam from pretty far away, so yeah, don't expect like to see a full rocket on your screen when it launches. Unless we get the cameras and views for us, which we don't expect for Taiyuan, because it is a pretty. It's basically a military site, isn't it?
A military base surrounds the launch site.
Mm. Is there any reason why they chose this launch site?
Because they could lob suborbital missiles westward for testing.
It's more like a testing site. It was a testing site until, of course.
Former missile range is made for great launch sites.
I'm just doing some things in the background. Okay, well, I think we are going to conclude the coverage. When will the launch be? 5 minutes ago. It already launched. If you didn't see it, scroll back to view it again. and otherwise wait until the stream ends, and then you can look back. Well, that's going to be it for the live stream, everyone. We would like to thank everyone for watching here. Now, I was almost going to end it. Yeah, I see you in the chat already. Before we go, we always do one thing before we end for Chinese launches. Phasing, stats.
Okay, so assuming this was the Long March 6, this was the vehicle's 15th flight to date, the 265th from the Shanghai Academy of Spaceflight Technology, the 640th mission for a Long March series vehicle, and the 26th launch from China this year.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Faisy, for coming to the stream. Highly appreciate it. We will be back later tonight or later today or later this evening. Not sure what time zone y'all are in. Well, we'll be back in about 10 hours for the launch of Soyuz 2.1A with Progress MS-34. Now, I'm not going to commentate that myself. We might have some commentators here, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that will be it from me. Until then, see you next time.